What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the Grim Runner. It's your boy Clef, and we back at it again with another video today. Man, today we about to tell a crazy story. Now, it involves a particular vehicle that I purchased at the age of 16, 1987 Cutlass Supreme. Man, I'm from Los Angeles, California, as most of y'all already know. So, man, if y'all don't know, today you go know that certain types of vehicles will definitely garner and attract all kinds of attention. And the crazy thing about being in Los Angeles, living in Los Angeles, California, any part, South Central, Inglewood, Compton, Watts, whatever, no matter what, you always want to try to drive something stylish. That's just like the mentality of everybody. You want to drive something stylish, man. Like a lot of people where I come from, we not trying to be in no Hondas, no Toyotas or whatever. At least I'm speaking from a male perspective of, individuals that are kind of like in a very particular world and, that like being in the mix of things. So the flashy cars, the old school cars, the fast cars, my particular time period, we really wasn't tripping on like luxury cars like that as far as like all the young people. But yeah, definitely Monte Carlo SS's, Impalas, Cutlasses, Caprices, just all kind of stuff like that. Camaros, Z28s, just them type of vehicles. But it's certain type of cars that will just attract some crazy attention. So I'm gonna tell y'all a little story about where I'm from. And you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to switch it up on the channel a little bit, bring new type of content. So the stories that I will tell is gonna be based around some crazy experiences I had, either personally when it involved the car scene, whether it be a car club, whether it be a ride out or whatever. But this particular story I'm gonna tell you about, I was 16 years old. I was thirsty to drive, but I wanted to drive something stylish, and I bought me a 1987 Cutlass Supreme, and that shit was on like 10-inch Dayton's or something like that. I can't really remember, but I'm gonna tell y'all this crazy story. So as stated, these particular vehicles, we want them because they flashy. So I'm 16 years old, man. I'm hustling at school around this time, man. I'm getting money, man. I was a true hustler at school. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling gummy worms with Kool-Aid, Capri Suns, burning CDs, doing mixed CDs. I'm selling all that, and I'm getting money. You know what I'm saying? I'm really actually getting money in high school off that. I was probably making like between $60 and $100 a day. So around that time period, to me, that felt like a lot of money. So I saved me up a little bit of cash when it got me a 1987 Cutlass Supreme. Now, it was white too, white with brown interior, for real. So this particular day, it was already a little bit of issues with the car, and I kind of knew that. And I kept getting told, that the thermostat needs to get fixed on it, and that's all that needed to be done. So I purchased the car or whatever. It was sitting in my grandma. It was sitting in our driveway pretty much for the most part. So I get my little money together. I'm like, cool. I went and picked up. I can't remember if it was from AutoZone or wherever, man. This was like in 04, something like that. Went and picked up the thermostat. So I'm out there fixing on the car myself, looking at the radiator. I'm just checking everything, and then I finally get the thermostat put in. I figured that part out. So I'm like, cool, I'm ready to go. Now, prior to me putting in the thermostat, I turn on the car. It'll pretty much sit in idle, without any issues. But as soon as I start driving, I can see the temperature gauge start going up. So once I put that new thermostat in, man, I felt like money, because I took it for a little spin around the block, and I'm like, okay, yeah, now I could actually go ride and show my car off because the car is not heating up. But eventually it started to heat up again. So I pull the car out the driveway. I'm gonna just tell y'all give you a quick briefer on where I'm from. I'm from the east side of Los Angeles, not East LA, but the east side of Los Angeles, South Central. But my particular area is called the Low Bottom. So it get real sticky, it get real tricky on our side of town. So I stayed on, this all I'm gonna say. I ain't gonna name no specific hoods or none of that, because I'm not trying to get in all that. But I stayed on one side of the tracks, which is the red side, and then on the back side of the tracks, another red side. So the story is gonna get crazy. And at this time period, I didn't know that the sides was kind of had a little bit of static. It was a little bit of beef. I was still young, and my pops is from one particular section, and at this particular time period, he was out. He went and did a bid when I bought like around the time I was like pushing 17 years old. He went and did a bid, but that's a completely different story. So I didn't really know exactly what was happening. I kind of heard chatter about it, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't really involved in it to really kind of get an idea of what was really going on in the street. So I pull a car out, slide up 51st. You know, I stayed on 51st in Compton Ave. So I slide up 51st. Boom, I'm feeling myself in my car. You know what I'm saying? I got my, well, at the time it was like the NASCAR jackets with all the teams. So I got my NASCAR jacket on, feeling myself. I got my braids in my hair at this particular time period. Man, I'm feeling it. So boom, I'm sliding up 51st, bank the left on Compton Avenue. I'm driving, I'm looking around, you know, seeing who I see. It's a nice summer day. I can't remember if we was in school or not at this particular time period, but I just know I was just feeling myself because I'm like, man, I got my car on the road. I'm feeling it. So boom, I'm sliding down Compton Ave. I make a left on Slauson. Now it's a gas station east once you bank that left on Slauson. So I'll go to the gas station. I'll pump the gas. Man, I'm feeling real good. And I don't know why or what on this particular day made me say, you know what, instead of going back down Slauson, I'm going to actually go down Holmes. So I gas up. I'm still in the zone. I'm like, yeah, man, I got my Cutlass out here. I'm looking around. I'm trying to see if I see any, you know, any females on the street in the area, even though our area had no females like that. But I'm feeling myself. I'm a young dude, man. I'm feeling it. I'm like, yeah, let me go on and push this way. So boom, I get my gas. We sliding down Holmes, and boom, it's a housing project right here on this side of town. Housing project. So I make the left on 54th, which is like, it's pretty much, I'm going to tell y'all the layout. So when you go down Holmes, the project's right here, and it's literally, you could either make a left or a right. The projects are right here. So I make that left, and it's a train track right here. So tell y'all how crazy. So as soon as I hit that corner, the metro, it's a metro. The, what is it? Blue line, green line, whatever. The metro that go down Long Beach Boulevard. So the metro is coming right at the time while I'm actually banking that left. So the tracks, boom, 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 boom. You know, they beeping. The little dividers, whatever you want to call it, them things come down. So I'm just sitting there. I'm like, you know, I ain't really even thinking nothing. I'm just sitting there, nodding my head, feeling my music. Next thing I hear coming straight from my right, like, hey, blood, like, who is blood? Who is blood? So I'm looking, I'm like, wait a minute, hold up, what's going on? So it's a gate that's like wide open. And then he just, who is blood? Who is blood? Whoop, whoop, whoop. Hey, where you from? He just shouting, hooting and hollering. So I'm looking, I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, I think what I heard must be true, because I'm going to this other side. So they trying to figure out who I am that's on this side of the tracks that's going this way. So next thing you know, I'm looking, and I got tent. It's a little tent, so you barely, they barely can see in the car, but I can see outside. So I really ain't paying him no attention, because I know at any given moment I could get aired out. If I roll my window down, I could get aired out. So next thing you know, all I see is maybe about 6-7 other dudes all flamed up. Yeah, they running down a little walkway or whatever to get to the gate. And the nigga just kept saying, hey, where you from? Where you from? Whoop the whoop, whoop, where you from? Where you from? I'm like, man. So I got to think quick on my toes. So I'm sitting at the light, and there's maybe like 1 or 2 cars in front of me. I'm just shaking. I'm like, man, this train is taking too long to come by. So I got to think quick, because being in the inside of the actual car at this particular time period, I could easily just get rang out, and I mean, there's nothing I could do. I'm not trying to be in the car getting hit by bullets or getting shot at, because I already then got sprayed up, and trust me, that ain't a cool experience. And thank God I didn't get hit. That's a whole nother story about some car shit. But I had to think quick. So all I did, literally, like, as I see all these dudes coming down the walkway, I'm like, yeah, man, it's time for me to get up out of here, because I ain't trying to go out like this. So I just gas it, boom, and I hit the left, go around the other cars, and then hit the right on Long Beach Boulevard, and I'm just gone. I'm flying down the street, bro. I'm just trying to get from out of the vicinity of these housing projects, because I know, man, it get ugly on our side of town. So I end up thinking I made like a left on 48th or something like that, and end up going all the way back up to Compton Ave and going back to the actual house, which is at my grandma's house. But that's how crazy driving these types of vehicles are, man, because they just attract so much unwanted attention. Particular cars like this, these is real gang member cars. These is real trooper cars. And I ain't, you know what, I ain't even gonna put that, I'm not even gonna put that tag on the actual vehicles. I'm gonna say a lot. All right, my bad, y'all. I had a little technical difficulty with my camera. It stopped at the 10-minute mark, but we go ahead and jump right into it. So like I was saying, I'm not gonna automatically, put that stigma on these particular cars, because not only not only gang members and street dudes per se drive these cars. You actually have a lot of individuals in the city that fix these types of cars up for lowriders. They fix them up for cruisers, with one of my closest relatives being one of them. Man, he hooked them all up, and he was never involved in the street politics like that. But these cars, I mean, just being 100% honest, they do carry a particular type of stigma. So if you're not known in your particular well, I'm not even gonna say that. If you're not known in a particular area driving this type of car, or if you in a gang area and the enemies coming through the slide, and you get caught up, in one of these vehicles, and they don't know your face, they don't know who you are, this type of car will attract attention. It's almost like, walking up the street in a white tee, or baggy clothes in Los Angeles, or Compton, anywhere, man. If you from the city, so I'm just explaining this to you guys on the outside, looking in, that Los Angeles is pretty much, it's a crazy place. But yeah, that particular day let me know that I am not the type of person that want to drive that car. Because, man, at that time I was 16. I wasn't involved in all the street activities like that around that time period. So it was me, man. I was into getting money. I was into money. I was into girls. I just wanted to be cool, be the cool guy, be the smooth, popular guy. You know what I'm saying? That's what I wanted to be. So I'm like, nah. This car ain't for me. So I ended up getting rid of that car, and probably a couple months later I ended up with my first official real car. It was a Lexus ES300. But yeah, man, this is my first story time talking about anything car related in Los Angeles. So if y'all like these type of stories, just make sure you go ahead and you smash that thumbs up and let me know. And this is my first story time trying to really tell a traumatic event, so you got to excuse me. These stories is only gonna get better and better, because I got a lot of stories when it comes to the car scene in Los Angeles. It was a lot of good times, but it's been a lot of crazy times, man. I almost got literally got killed another time. Whole car got sprayed up, and I absolutely have no idea how I didn't get hit by one single bullet. So I'm just letting y'all know, where I'm from. I pretty much posted all content about my RT for the most part, but it's time to start getting a little bit more personal and letting y'all know a little bit more about me, because I'm definitely from the trenches, and I didn't been through some crazy stuff when it comes to cars, man. We used to do ride outs. We had a crazy car club scene, a crazy clubbing scene, around the cars, going to clubs like the Mixed Nuts, seeing crazy shootouts. So if y'all like these type of stories, like I said, man, I'm gonna keep them coming every now and then. Yeah, and that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for today. I just wanted to give y'all that quick little story about a time that I almost got knocked down because of the type of car that I drove, and I was slipping. So that's gonna wrap it up. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay blessed, and I'll be back with another one.